I killed a spider this morning in my shower, and I just wanted to talk about it. So I was in the shower this morning, and I was looking up at my faucet or whatever the hell that's called, and this spider starts sprinting out from behind it. Full sprint. I've never seen a spider move this fast. I'm shitting myself at this point. I'm freaking the fuck out. I don't know what to do. He sprints across my shower wall. I grab my fucking body wash. Boom, he's dead. Just one shot, he's dead. He falls down off the wall, goes down into the faucet. I'm dodging him with my feet. And by the end of my shower, I was questioning what I had just done. I was questioning the consciousness of that spider. Because I feel like I needed to be critical with myself, and I feel like I needed to. It was just a conversation with myself that I needed to have. I come to the conclusion that spider was conscious, and I just killed a conscious being. I committed murder. And the reason that I say that, and that sounds stupid because it's just a spider, right? There are billions and billions of spiders all over the place. There's probably 15 more in my bathroom. But I had to question myself on what I believe consciousness to be. Because as human beings, we set this standard of consciousness as the ability to question, the ability to wonder why. Why is this happening? Why am I here in this truck with this technological device pointed at me? I can see my face on the screen. Why is that happening? That shouldn't be happening. Why? That is the ultimate consciousness standard, is just being able to ask why. I disagree with that after the day that I've had. I disagree with that, because when you think about every single animal on this planet, if you were to walk into the woods and there's a deer, right? What is that deer going to do? He is immediately going to run away from you. Immediately. Like, he's not going to think twice. He's not going to look back at you. He's not going to think about attacking you. He's going to run away because he wants to preserve his life. He does not want to die. If you're walking through the woods and you come across a fucking bobcat or something, it's going to run away. It's going to run away because it has the understanding that you are a powerful living being, and it does not want anything to do with you because you could endanger its life. So that gets me to this point of, what is consciousness if not the desire to not die? Because the equivalent of the desire of not wanting to die is the desire to live. These go hand in hand. These are one and the same. So to say that anything on this planet, any living thing, even the trees, even plants, anything that's living, I don't think you can make the argument that those things aren't conscious. Now, if you have the belief that consciousness is, a belief in a higher power, or an understanding that there could be some sort of, super being like God, for example, then I think you're an idiot, because, a lot of people don't even believe in God. And so to say that consciousness is like a hopeful wish, that's ignorant. And I've heard that argument many times. Some people say that consciousness is that ability to ask why. Like, we just, the standard human definition is, I don't know the actual definition, I don't have it in front of me, but it's, the ability to ask why, the ability to wonder, why am I here? Why is any of this happening? What is my purpose? I don't believe that is consciousness. I believe that is just a human trait. I think that's just a part of our biological evolution, is just the wondering of, we've been here so long, and our brains are developed. They're evolutionized to be the way that they are, to think the way that we think. It was intentional. It was, you know, our evolution intentionally made us this way. So to say that something like a human trait of asking why, of wondering why, is just, I can't see that being considered consciousness. That just seems ignorant to me. I think consciousness is much more than that. I think it's, but also much simpler. I think it's much more, but much simpler. You know, if you are walking out of, I don't know, a bar, right? You're walking out of a bar and these guys walk up to you and, you know, they look like they're about to beat your ass. What do? You run away. You run away as fast as you can because you understand that you are being put in danger, right? You have the desire to not die, therefore the desire to live. You don't want death. You don't know what death is. You don't know what comes after that. You don't know what that moment looks like. So you avoid it at all cost. At all cost, you avoid it. The same thing can be said about every living being on this planet. Every living being. I mean, trees, obviously they can't move, but if you cut a tree down, it sends distress signals to every other tree in the area, letting it know that, you know, we're in danger. I'm being hurt. I'm being killed. Every living thing on this planet has the desire to not die, therefore the desire to live. I believe that that in itself is consciousness. I believe that consciousness is not something that should be, you know, twisted and fucked until it's what we want it to be, until it's what makes us different from everything else. Now, if you were to put a Venn diagram here, right, and this is humans, and this is everything else, every other being on the planet, and in the middle, you know, you have that comparison part where you blend the two, right? But that would be empty. If you had humans here and everything else here, this middle section is empty because we have separated ourselves so much from every other living being that we don't even see ourselves as, you know, relatable to them. Even mammals, even cows and pigs and sheep that give live birth and care for their young, provide for their young, look out for them, just the same way that we do. We don't care about them. We slaughter billions of them every year, and we put them on our plate, and almost 2/3 of that just gets thrown away. It doesn't even get cooked or eaten. It's absurd and selfish and sadistic and arrogant. And I think it really encapsulates everything that human beings have proven to be over the last, 300,000 years? We have consistently proven that we're not an intelligent species. We're not what we think we are. We are so much less than we think we are. We hurt people. We hurt other living beings that share this planet with us, who have done no harm to us, unless, you know, biologically infused to do so, like lions and tigers and bears and oh my. I mean, it's ridiculous that animals that are not predators, animals that give, you know, they're no threat to us, we see them as a target. That makes us weak and gross. And I mean, that's like picking on the little, like the smallest kid in class. That's like you go up to the smallest guy in jail and just fucking beat his ass. Like that's not the way that we are supposed to work. We are much more intelligent than that, but we continue to show that we're not. I think that we need to have serious conversations about what we consider consciousness to be, because no being on this planet wants to die. Not a single one. Not an ant, not a spider, not a squirrel, not a deer. None of them want to die. They all have the desire to not die. Therefore, the desire to live. Would you consider yourself a conscious being if you could not ask why? If your brain wasn't functioned, it wasn't, you know, biologically designed to question things, to wonder, to experiment and try and you know, want new things, constantly something new. You have to feed yourself new things. If you don't have that anymore, are you conscious? Would you still consider yourself to be a conscious being? a being that deserves life. If I was to go into your brain and take away all the parts that allowed you to ask why or what or who or when or to question anything, if I took away your ability to question, if I took away your desire for entertainment and any human aspect, if I was just to dissect your brain and remove the human aspects, would you still be a conscious being? Would you still believe that you have a right to live? Would you still believe that it would be wrong to kill you? I think these are things that we need to question more, because we are sharing this planet with these animals who were here long before us. They may look different now than they did 500,000 years ago or 1,000,000 years ago, but they were here, right? They were here. And for us to not think twice about taking the lives of any living being is something that I definitely am gonna start, questioning myself about. I'm not gonna kill another spider or an ant or anything, because in my eyes, that thing has a desire to live. And who am I to take away that thing's desire to live?